What's up guys, Rising Am Disc Golf here, and we are back with another video. Today, we are going to be doing my 2019 Team Trilogy in the bag. Quick side note, this is not my application video as that has to be short. I'm going to go more in depth with this one, but just so you know, I follow all like the specifications of Team Trilogy. So to start off, we're going to start off with the putters. I carry two prime deputies for my main putting putters. I use these pretty much anywhere within 80 to 90 feet, so I rely on these basically for every putt. I carry 5 total putters, so I have 3 throwing putters. My first throwing putter is a BT Medium Maiden. So I picked this Maiden up while I was in Emporia earlier in the year because I saw Anthony throwing it and he was throwing it so well, and I felt him, and they had these nice swirly green ones, so I picked one up. Man, do they fly dead straight. Throw it not full power, probably like 60-70% power, flat, they just carry flat and glide forever. So Maidens are super versatile. You can ante them, you can even hyzer them if you really like tone down a little bit, but I didn't really like it in the Origio for the Trilogy Challenge. I don't know what it was, but definitely a great throwing putter to revisit in maybe a different plastic. My next throwing putter is the 2019 AJ Risley Hybrid Waffle Warden. This thing is more stable than I thought it would be. It's compared to like a Fusion Warden, it's just a little more stable, so I can throw it pretty hard and flat, and it might turn a little bit, but it won't really fade either. It'll just kind of like stay relatively straight, but it'll keep a hyzer if you throw it on one, and it'll keep an anhyzer. So just a touch up from the Maiden. It might have a little bit more finish than the Maiden, and so that's what I use the Hybrid Warden for. Great disc. If they're back in stock, go check one out and support AJ Risley. My last and final throwing putter is the classic Soft Slammer. I use this not really for forehands. It's a little deep. It kind of catches on my fingers. I use it for a lot of backhand overstable upshots. I actually got this in the winter mystery box, so it is that soft plastic. I'm thinking about maybe getting a blend one just so it isn't so incredibly floppy. It's kind of a weird feeling, but definitely love the feeling of the Slammer. Okay, so moving on to mid-ranges. I carry quite a few mid-ranges. So I carry 7 total mid-ranges, 6 molds. And that's a theme you'll notice. I carry a lot of different molds. I haven't really gotten to the beat-in stage quite yet, but we're always working towards that. So going in order of stability, my first mid-range that I have is the Trilogy Challenge Patrol. I got this in the Trilogy Challenge and I've been throwing it ever since. This might sound weird, but I've been working on my left-handed backhand shot, and I use this a lot because my left hand isn't very powerful, so I can get some turn and it'll fade. I know it's a Patrol, but for my left hand it'll fade. When I throw it for right hand, like super hyzers, flip to flat and turnovers, just anything that'll go right. I think it's really great for in the woods. Really good disc. Next up in stability would be my Latitude 64 Gobi. This disc, ever since a couple weeks ago, has had a very special place in my heart. I actually ordered 2 more on DD last night. This is my first ever ace disc. Quick story, I was playing my first tournament of the year, put money in the ace pot. There was this blind hole, 230 feet, kind of turn over a little bit, over a hill, you couldn't see it, behind a tree. Smashed chains, Mach 3s, it somehow sticked, got the ace pot, a lot of money, got the Gobi, got all the signatures in the back. So this disc is my favorite mid-range, no doubt about it. I heard some rumors that they're going to stop making it, so definitely if you want one, get 3. The next disc is the original Fusion Truth. So I know it's a less common disc because a lot of people throw the EMAC Truth, but if you're more of an amateur, even though you might bag an EMAC Truth like I do, an original Truth, and this is like basically brand new in the Fusion, it's like 177. it flies literally dead straight, and even with a little bit of fade since it's pretty brand new. But this thing is like, if the goby will go straight and turn over a little bit, and maybe just dead straight if I pop it on a hyzer, this thing is just a little bit up from that, so really good disc. So like I said, I do carry a Misprint Lucid EMAC Truth. When I was in Emporia, I got EMAC to sign it, so super cool of him. Once I probably pick up a new one, this will go on the wall with that goby. But this thing is super domey, super grip and rip, if you know what I mean. You know, it's an EMAC Truth, get 7. So my final mid-range is the Westside Disc Bard, and I use this in place of a Verdict in most people's bag because I like the feel of the Bard. It's a little more deep, so I can get my hand around it, and I feel like I can really throw it well. It's got some good stability. I've got it in the tournament first, just absolutely beautiful. Very, very reliable disc. I recommend it if the Verdict doesn't quite feel right to you. Now, I should have talked about these after the putters, but these are my main upshot disc. This is the Dynamic Disc Suspect. I have it in 2 plastics. Go check out my mini review of it if you haven't. I love it. I use it for mostly forehand, sometimes backhand upshots. My main one is this Fusion Suspect. Just go check out my review if you want to know more about it, but they're like pretty stable to overstable, shallow 4-speed approach discs. Here's an older Lucid one. It's a little puddle top. It's got a Disc Golf Answer Man stamp on it. Yeah, this thing is a little straighter, so I can get a little more distance out of it. I just really love these discs for any sort of upshots where I can't quite putt to. Moving on to another disc in my bag. I carry 4 Mavericks. So I use this disc so much for anything that I can't throw my mid-range or I can't throw my higher fairways. I use this disc so much. So starting off least stable, I have a 169 Lucid Maverick. Looks super good. This thing is pretty understable. I've had it for a bit and it'll turn over quite a bit. Next up in stability is this brand new 171 Lucid Maverick. Got this at that tournament. So far, the few times I've thrown it, seems pretty much like that other Lucid Maverick, but it won't turn quite as much and it'll fade a little bit more. Next up from that is the hybrid Peter Pan Park Monkey Island Open Maverick. Shout out to Anthony from DG Weekly. I caddied for him. He gave me this, so that was super awesome. Hopefully I can see you again. And just if you're wondering, it's good. It's really good. It's just that good, you know. It's a little more reliable than the other flippier Mavericks. Not quite as stable as my other Maverick, but this thing, it's just perfect. Right in that little turnover, not little, pretty good turnover. Really pop up to flat. It's just rides so good. And then here's my Zach Melton 2019 Lucid X Maverick. Can't find the weight because it's so clear. Yeah, I don't know, it's something. But this thing is like kind of stable. I have the 2017 or 2018 Maverick, excuse me. And that thing has a little bit of turn. Honestly, this thing, if I throw it pretty hard and flat, it'll go flat, maybe a little turn, but it'll have some fade. So I've been leaning on this a lot. This is actually a very, very nice disc. I know they're out of stock right now, but if you can find one, definitely try it out. So my next fairway, I only have one of them in the bag right now. That's the Escape. I have a Biofusion, very beat-in Escape, and I mostly use this one for turnover wood shots, maybe big hyzer flips with turn max fairway. No, just a lot of fairway distance, or even rollers, since this is a pretty beat-in Biofusion Escape. Very, very versatile disc. Check one out if you haven't. So, moving on to probably my favorite disc ever. That is the Getaway. So, I have the Getaway also in 4 different plastics. I have 4 different Getaways. So my least stable one is a pretty seasoned Biofusion Getaway. This thing is my bread and butter. If you have tried maybe a Lucid Getaway and you think they're a little too stable, definitely check out a Biofusion, because they're gonna be that stable once you get them peed in. Like this one is so perfect. I threw this, I measured it on UDisc, it was 378 max. Like highs are up to Annie. It can handle power, but this thing, it'll turn, it'll just do anything you want. I even threw this whole something at Peter Pan Park, the one along the road, dead straight, and it handles that power and just goes dead straight. Very good disc. Done talking about that one. Next one is my special edition Getaway. I don't really know this disc. I've had it for a long time. I just don't. I have a couple backups, but this one can get some good distance to it, a little more stable. My next Getaway is the Fusion Burst Getaway. I throw this Getaway a lot as well. This one's a little beat in. I got this in the mystery box. This thing is really good. It used to be really stable, but now it's gotten to where it's just reliably stable, and I can get some good S shots with it. Really good, a little more reliable Getaway. And then the final one is the Paige Bjorkis Lucid X Getaway. This thing actually feels surprisingly good for my sidearm, so I use that a lot for it, but it is stable. Like, it's stable. So if you can't really handle a Lucid Getaway, I don't recommend it, but I use this thing literally for, like, if I don't have to throw my Criminal, I'll throw this. It's stable. Yeah, it'll always get that reliable fade. I can get some really good hooky shots with it. So yeah, Lucid X Getaway. And finally, the distance drivers. I carry 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 distance drivers. We'll start off with the lowest speed. I have my Renegade. This is a Fusion Burst Renegade. Relatively new. I got it in Emporio when I lost my other one. This one at this point got that turn, and it'll come back a little bit. It's not quite to the point where my other one was. I used my other one for rollers, so hopefully we get this one there. But this one is just absolutely beautiful. It looks like cotton candy. So it's really good, and it can, in a tailwind, it can bomb. So I forgot about my Criminal. So my Criminal is a Fusion Criminal. Shout out to the Emerald Coast Disc Golf Club. I actually got this at Ducks Flying Discs in Wichita, Kansas. It's a 174 Fusion Criminal. Absolute neat hook. Really been leaning on it though. If you think the Felon's a little too flat top for you, this it's not really domey, but it just feels better for backhand. I really like it for those super overstable or skip shots. Now, next is my Biofusion Trespass. This is getting a little seasoned, so actually, if I throw it really hard, it'll turn over quite a bit. So I'm actually probably going to pick a new one of these up. But this one is super bomby. I usually lean on this. If my other ones aren't flying great, I can turn to this, because I know it'll get that big distance for me. Next disc is the Biofusion Sheriff. I had a really good one, and then I lost it. So here's a newer Biofusion Sheriff, 171. Not quite to where I want it. I mean, it's a Sheriff, it'll turn and it'll fade, and it's got that high speed stability, and high speed turn, low speed stability. So I use this a lot for maximum distance shots. Really, really good disc. Next is the Raider. Now, if you haven't seen my review of the Raider, go check it out. I ordered a stock stamp Fusion Raider yesterday. That should be coming later this week, probably to replace my first run Raider. This thing will go on the wall for now because, man, I just feel so honored to have this. These things bomb. The special edition, I'm just going to summarize it because you can go check out the video. This thing, it'll pop up to flat from a hyzer on a flat. It'll ride, and it's just super long distance. So if you haven't checked out a Raider, check it out. My final disc is the Paige Pierce Biofusion Defender Mega Pop Top, like super hard beat. This thing is really, really, really stable right now. It's pretty much brand new. It's got a little swirls to it, so it looks really good. I'm so excited to keep throwing it, and hopefully it'll get to that stage where my other Biofusion Defender that I also lost was, where that thing was just perfect, straight, with reliable fade. So that is the Defender. So comment down below before I get to the rest of this stuff. If you guys want to see, I have a stack of other discs that I sometimes cycle in and out of the bag. So if you want to see a video of me talking about my other discs that aren't in my bag and why they aren't and why they might be in the future, leave a comment down below and I'll get to that. As far as content in my bag, I always carry a mini. Right now I have my Twin Town Throwdown mini. Shout out to them, great local tournament here in Minnesota. Definitely check it out. In terms of other accessories, I have my whale sack. This is like a weird rainbow design. My dad got it for me for my birthday, so that is super cool. I have been leaning on this a lot, and probably wouldn't have got that ace without it. Just saying. Just saying. Yeah, go check out a whale sack and support Tina Oakley if you haven't. Other things in my bag include towels. I usually carry 3 towels. Right now I have 4, because you can never be sure how many towels you'll need. Pro tip, individually bag them in plastic bags so that they don't get wet after you use one. I also have my golden retriever. Now I bought this in Emporia, and let me tell you, I have probably saved over 20 discs since I bought this last month. This thing is actually a lifesaver. It's not too expensive, but it's not cheap. It's 25 bucks, but literally it'll save you hundreds. So go check one out. I strongly encourage it. Last few things are Sharpies. I have a bag of colorful Sharpies because why not? They look cool. And then I also have my PDGA rule book, because you never want to be unsure about a rule when you're out there in a tournament. So always carry your PDGA rule book with you. In terms of my bag, I recently got the Dynamic Disc Ranger bag. This thing is really great. The biggest thing I love about it is the amount of storage it has at the top. Like I said, I have a bunch of towels, I had a bunch of discs in there, and I think it looks super cool. And so yeah, thanks to my parents for getting that for my birthday. Also, I have recently upgraded to this Dynamic Discs LG cart by Zuka. Shout out to my uncle and aunt, they got it for me for my birthday. So amazing. I am so grateful. Birthday and Christmas kind of combined, so I'm so grateful for this. I'm going to be using it so much, and my back thanks you as well. So yeah, my Ranger bag fits in there super well, and I'm excited to use this weekend for my second tournament of the year. So before I end the video, I'd like to talk a little bit about some discs I have coming, because those will be in my bag. They're just coming later this week, and I wanted to film it today because it's going to rain the rest of the week. So one thing is a hand-eye Biofusion Justice. I have been missing that extreme overstability in the lower speed side of my bag, so I'm excited to carry a Justice to fill that spot. I also bought a few more Gobies, so I don't have to keep my Ace Gobi in the bag. And I also bought a Fusion Stock Stamp Raider, a little bit lower weight, so that I can maybe throw it over some water and not be scared to lose my very, very expensive first run Raider. I also bought a putter pouch that'll fit right on top of my cart for in the tournament. I will be doing further videos about this cart, so stay tuned for those. And other than that, thanks for checking out my In the Bag, and stay tuned for more videos. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, go over there and subscribe, and leave a like, and also check out my mini review of the Suspect and the Tip of the Week. Also follow me on Instagram at rising.am.disc.golf. On the screen, links down below. So thanks for checking it out. We'll see you in the next one. See ya.